Yeah, well, let's talk about something completely different, because Nikola Tesla was really into pigeons. Have you heard about this at all? Nikola Tesla was a weird dude anyway, right? Like,
Have we not talked about this?
don't think so.
Oh,
Have we not? Have we?
I don't know. It might have been on the.
Did I accidentally?
It might have been on the non-released.
It could have been on the unaired pilot. Maybe.
The unaired pilot, the never to be heard unaired pilot.
That's weird. I don't think it is, because I've been through all the ones that Bruno's made for us.
Oh,
if it is on there, maybe we'll chop this out. Maybe we won't. This is generally none of this show has been edited so far. This is all. There are moments when I'm watching it and I'm like,
take that out.
we should take, and then I don't. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like I'll say something that doesn't sound like good. Like people are gonna think I'm
doesn't make a very good impression of us.
But I want it to be raw. Like I quite like it raw. Just
raw.
So it's like the real us rather than the edited us. Like to be more funny, to be less uncouth. So Tesla was into pigeons, right? Is there a link for this one, or did I just make some notes? I'll bring up Tesla's Wikipedia page, so at least we got something to look at.
Wiki.
The link's there, yeah. Although for some reason I see that's a link to a citation. So just we're gonna need to scroll. Yeah, I don't know why I just linked to a citation.
There we go.
I think I was following something to see if it was interesting.
He was a strange man, Nikola Tesla, wasn't he?
He was a super notable scientist, obviously. Especially gets a lot more recognition today. I think the internet kind of changed people's opinions on him.
And movies.
Yeah, for sure. What was that one?
The Illusionist? The Prestige. That was a good
I saw that again recently.
Yeah?
Really liked it. That's a great movie.
Stands up. It's a good movie.
Christian Bale and
Hugh Jackman.
That's right. Great stuff. So before we get into the birds, though, and the pigeons, I want to talk about how weird he was with hotels, and I don't understand him and hotels. So he'd essentially just go, like, you've probably heard of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's fancy, but I assume it's fancy because I've heard of it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like Waldorf Astoria in New York. He lived there for 22 years, right?
Jeez.
So he just moved in, and you're like, oh, well, you assume he's rich. How about this? I got it here in my notes. He racked up a bill of $20,000, which, that's a bill, right?
Can't help but think
he hit the
it wasn't
minibar.
entirely his fault.
Why?
Because the hotel should have kicked him out.
Okay, this is my whole point. But that £20,000 over 22 years doesn't sound too bad until you realise that with modern inflation, because that's not adjusted, he owed the Waldorf Astoria Hotel $290,000. $290,000. He had to sell. Have you heard of Wardenclyffe Tower? This is it's the big tower that he built. You see it when you see a picture of Tesla, you might see this tower next to him, which I think he was using. He was going to transmit electricity or something.
Wasn't he? Wireless electricity or something
which
like
is
that.
mentioned in the Prestige movie and stuff
he got
like
very
this.
close to doing it, but then no one could replicate his results.
Did he get close to doing it,
I don't know, but
because it's been 100 years.
I suppose.
Anyway, so he had to sell this, not the technology, but just this tower and the land and the stuff. Wait, did he sell it? No, yeah, I thought he gave it to the Waldorf Astoria, but he didn't. He had to sell it and then do this. But my question about all of this, really, how does the Waldorf Astoria let this happen? Whenever I go to a hotel, the first thing they do is like, hi, welcome to the hotel, passport, credit card.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, we're just going to do a pre-authorization on your credit card, depending on how fancy the hotel is, from like, 50 quid to hundreds of pounds. In case I absolutely raid the shit out of the minibar. And we've talked before.
Bloody expensive, those minibars.
Yeah, minibars are outrageous.
$15 for a beer.
Here I found in smaller hotels, like if I go out into the country here, it's not too bad.
No.
Like I'd say it's only 50% more than the price you pay at the pub.
Yeah, it's because people here in the Czech Republic just won't pay it.
Yeah, otherwise,
they just won't pay
I'm
it.
with them. I still won't. If it's I would no. The only time I use the minibar is when I've checked to make sure it doesn't have that weird sensor pad. Those ones where have you done this? You stayed at a hotel where it's like they have the things, you take it out and it registers it automatically.
No, I'm too cheap. I never take out the minibars.
No, this is only I don't think I ever pay for hotels like this. It's only when I'm on business or something.
Okay,
but although I went to a conference and it's like also if you just go into someone else's room. And if you hit it really hard, all of the stuff shakes around, and so it registers.
Like a massive bill.
It registers it all as a sale, so it's a massive hassle. Just so, yeah.
Do you know? Quick thing about hotel rooms. All right, I think this is basically common knowledge, but I'm not sure how many people actually know. And it's that the safes which are used in hotel rooms typically always come with a standard opening code.
They have to,
which is 00000, and the 95% of all hotels, maybe more, don't change this. So,
is that right?
And I've tested it in the last 3 hotels I've been in, and all of them have opened on 00000.
That's crazy.
So just be aware, people. If you're hiding your things, if you're putting them away, thinking they're safe and away from the mitts of thieves,
in as safe as you think they would be,
just ensure that the code has been changed. You never know.
Wow, that's intense. So what's going on? How do you stay? I mean, is this just a thing of the past where they didn't have credit cards and stuff? Because I don't know. Surely they've got to secure And today we're way more traceable. In the past, you could just rack up that bill and disappear to wherever.
That's true. That was the good old days, wasn't it?
Although he's Tesla, so he's quite famous.
Well, this is kind of what I'm thinking, is that he's famous. So they're probably thinking, he'll pay it off. He's famous.
Okay, either way. But anyway, and then
no one will ever know.
He bounces around to a whole bunch of other hotels and racks up more bills.
But on what money?
Well, no, he's like, I'm Tesla, I'll stay here, and then the bill just racks up. I looked into this. I couldn't find any. It just seems like he could just rack up bills and all of this. So he racks up another $10K at another hotel, which is about $150,000 in today's money. And he told them he had a death ray. He's like, I've got a death ray. It's in this box. It's a new invention. And if you write off my bill, I will just give you this invention.
No.
Yeah, it's totally fake. Didn't work. And he just left.
I mean, it's a good effort, though.
Suffice to say, Tesla's Wikipedia page is well worth a read. I wanted to do it about the birds, then I just could not mention this because it's so good.
That's exactly the same sort of thing as walking in with your hand up your shirt and going, let me out, give me your money.
Right. Yeah,
I've got a death ray.
Maybe that's what he did. No, sorry, he wasn't holding them up.
Oh
no, he wasn't threatening them with the death ray.
He was offering them intellectual
he was
property.
Just like, yeah. He's like, I'll just give you the death ray.
Oh. All right.
But it wasn't a real death ray.
Oh.
It didn't work.
And what did they... Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, did you reckon they figured him out? They sussed him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe they just... I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. There's not a ton of stuff about this. I just found it interesting. Let's talk about the birds.
Yeah.
So basically, Tesla got really into it. He'd go to the park, he'd feed the birds, and then he'd start taking home the ones that were sick. So, I don't know. I have to say, I understand. You walk around, you see the pigeons, and it's like, that one's wing's broken. It's going to die.
This one's got 2 toes. This one's got 1 toe. This one has a stub.
Yeah. The
so
number
many
of
stubby
pigeons. It's not nice. So he'd take them back to his hotel room, the fancy ass Waldorf Astoria or wherever he was staying, and he'd start fixing them up. Not just this.
Prosthetic limbs and robot pigeons. Or
how about this? He spent $2,000, which is $29,000 in today's money, building a machine that would fix a pigeon that had a broken something. I don't know. Oh yeah, its body was broken. Don't know what that means, but in different ways. And so this thing that would suspend it so its wings and stuff would heal. I'm like, dude, that's expensive. Here's a great quote that's really weird. I've been feeding pigeons, thousands of them. Yes. But there was one.
You poor man.
Yeah. A beautiful bird. Ooh. Pure white, with light grey tips on its wings.
It was a dove.
That one was different. And everyone's like, yeah, Tesla is kind of a cross between a rock pigeon and a dove. It was a female. I had only to wish and call her, and she would come flying to me. I love that pigeon, as a man loves a woman, and she loved me. As long as I had her, there was a purpose to my life. Slightly weird. It's a bit more creepy because I put it in a real weird, creepy voice. But, dude, the pigeon that you love like a woman, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
She did things to me.
Yeah.
She touches me in a way no other woman
satisfied. It's like, I think you raped a pigeon.
Oh, that's
Nikola.
terrible. That's terrible. Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla, pigeon rapist.
Oh, that's put a dark shine on him, hasn't it?
I think... I assume in a platonic way. I don't think he was really a Tesla was a pigeon rapist.
I think typically in the past people just were more innocent. I think they said things like this, and there wasn't
the internet ready to absolutely rip them to pieces.
Exactly,
for it,
there wasn't that malicious tone.
Do.
You go, I love you with all my heart and everything like that to a bird, and then people are just like, all right, I'm gonna, I don't know, paint a watercolor about it or something like that.
I'm gonna write some beautiful words and think about it for a long time, and then be,
not get trolled and send hate.
He also, here's a bonus fact. I just threw this in just before we got started today. I was reading through my notes and I was like, okay, let's see what else we got. Because I wanted to, I was into Tesla. He once helped Mark Twain take a dump.
How?
There's this.
Did he massage his belly?
Don't open the link to it, but this is from a website called... No, it's just because it's just not worth the time. I've got a little quote here. It's from a website called alvexo.com. 10 fun facts about Nikola Tesla. Sounds like something I'd make, to be honest, on one of my channels. Tesla was constantly looking for more efficient energy sources and built a high-frequency oscillator known as an earthquake machine, which shook his Manhattan neighborhood when he conducted experiments. That feels like a bit of hyperbole. Tesla invited his friend Mark Twain, who was known to have constipation issues, to stand on the machine's platform while he turned it on. Within minutes, Twain was running to the bathroom to relieve the problem. This does sound like a bit of an urban legend, and I didn't do any sort of background check on this source, but
I think so.
Well, the same thing says his earthquake machine shook his Manhattan neighborhood, and I'm like, no, it didn't. All right, no, it didn't.
It might have made the windows tremor on the...
It's like, come on. So I'm already doubting. I just like the story, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. Did you ever... I can't think where it was. Was it in the Millennium Dome? Where they...
I went to the Millennium Dome.
Yeah, back in 2000, yeah. And I think they had a...
For those who don't know, it was a giant exposition... Exposition?
Exposition?
Expo, thank you.
Yeah.
To celebrate the new millennium, I think the Labour Party were kind of spearheading this thing, weren't they? And then they were like, let's get this built, and it was kind of a massive failure.
That was Blair
I thought it was cool, though.
I thought it was cool. It's now the O2, isn't it? So it's
giant stadium.
Yeah, big stadium. But there used to be a Japanese simulator, like earthquake simulator. I think it was there.
This is in the Natural History Museum. And it's still there.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's cool. I went to the Natural History Museum a few years ago, actually, and I went on this thing. And since the first time since I was a kid, it's a lot more... It's less cool now because it all looks really kind of old and less good. And you're like, oh, okay. And I'm also don't have the awe of a child. But it's like, it's a Japanese shop. So you go in and there's like, dong, 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 and Japanese music and, sounds of Asia. It sounds Japanese. There's all these Japanese foods on the thing, and then suddenly, and you feel like the simulated earthquake. It's pretty cool.
Cool, nice.
But this is good because it was in the Millennium Dome. Now you can just go there to see Adele, but you can go to the Natural History Museum for free, and ride the earthquake simulator.
I think we do it often, but if you're ever in London, go use the hotels. Not hotels. The
free museums.
Free museums. It's the best thing to do.